Hey guys, Paul here, and I'm finishing up a couple tables right now, and I want to share with you a tip that I learned about 10 years ago on how to really improve the surface quality of the finish on your tabletops. It involves applying a grain filler. This is a product that I really love. It's called Aqua Coat Wood Grain Filler. It's a clear water-based product. Goes on super easily, dries quickly, sands off very nicely, and produces, it fills in the pores to produce a really dead flat surface quality so that when you apply your finishes, it just layers on nicely and builds up and just gives you a great sheen across it. Now you'd want to use this on any open pore wood, such as definitely oak. I use it on oak. And you get dramatic improvement there. This is walnut. Now walnut is open pore. It's not as coarse as oak is, but you still will notice quite a good benefit from that. Other woods like cherry and maple with closed pores, it wouldn't do you any good to use this kind of product. So really just your open pore woods. So all I'm going to do here is I'm just going to zoom in and let you watch. I'll do a little voiceover color commentary along the way to kind of share with you what I'm doing. I'll just kind of walk you through the sequence of steps to prepare your tabletop for a really nice finish quality. After sanding the panel to 220 grit and blowing out the pores with compressed air, I took a 4-inch putty knife and smeared a good liberal application of the filler across the panel. I was careful to work in both directions across the grain and with the grain, and a little bit at a 45 to the grain as well, just to make sure to get good penetration of that filler into all the pores. After the grain filler dried for about an hour, I used a 320 grit sandpaper and lightly sanded all of the filler off of the surface, checking it carefully, looking at an angle down across the plane just to make sure there weren't any additional spots with heavy residue at the top. All right, then after it's dried and you've sanded it, get down at eye level, shine a light at a low angle across it, and you'll start to get an idea of whether or not you're going to need to add a second coat. You can also feel it. It's definitely noticeably different than the non-finished side. So this, I would say, probably does not need a second coat. With oak, I'll do 2 and sometimes even 3 coats. With walnut, usually 1 coat will do. I'm going to put a second coat on here just because this is a really special project and I want to make sure that it's as good as possible. So just kind of as an insurance step, I'm going to put a second coat. All right, I tell you what, that feels great, and it just looks like glass. It's ready for that finish. So let me get a couple coats on and then I'll show you how it turns out. All right, I'm very pleased with how that turned out. I got a very nice glass-like surface because of those pores being filled flush with the surface of the wood. Just, it's like cheating. It just gives you that professional looking finish without much work beyond just filling those pores. If I compare that to the drawer from the project, same piece of wood, same finishing process, but now I can see much more depth to the pores, which maybe that doesn't bother you, maybe it does, but if you want to have this kind of professional glass-like look, it's as easy as filling the pores before you apply your finish. So with that, feel free to ask any questions down below. I hope you'll subscribe and come back to the Tool Metrics channel. I do a lot of woodworking, wood turning, and power tool related videos. Thanks again.